and your work area. You will quite possible that whatever offer quite possible that whatever offer I give, all my services come with an offer with a promise like 3xing your growth, right? 3x your salary or your growth, any field that you are in. How I say that is, it all depends on your mindset. So if you start working today, then your changed mindset will expand your horizon and your work area. You will no longer be limited to a very constricted area, and the world can see that. You understand me? So, this is Sangeeta, a leadership growth mentor who helps you 3xing your salary and making your growth obvious. What you get is what you are. So, first of all, you need to become what you are to able that kind of growth. The moment you change your outlook, your mindset, and your approach to solve, resolve, and finish any task that you undertake, it requires you to be a different person, a very different person than you are right now, right? That is why we say, how do you think? Hi Abhishek, thank you for being here. So, good evening, Abhishek. So, each time we say, and the approach we make. See, suppose you are a person, fresher, right? A fresher. Do you see a difference between a fresher and a vice president? So, what change do you see in a fresher and a vice president? The approach is very different, right? The conviction level is very different. At vice president level, the person is more accommodating, more inclusive, and he has a lot of wisdom. Don't you agree that? So, that is not there in the beginner level. So, when I told somebody, a beginner, a fresher, that you need to change yourself, he didn't trust me. He cannot see what change the vice president has made in all these years of his work experience. Suppose you know all about what a vice president level person thinks and how he acts. If I help you acquire those abilities, and if you surrender to me that this I can give you, yes, Abhishek. So the way he becomes more mature is because of his experience, right? And with experience, he actually brings in this maturity. What I do is, I'll give you those scenarios which a vice president has undergone during his entire career. It takes him 18 plus years to reach that stage. So if I can give you, I can train you within a year all those experiences. I'll give you scenarios, you will resolve those problems. You will understand something, you will take some insights, right? Then you will, like say, reduce that span into 1 to 2 years. Say, let us say we will take 3 years to understand that. But the initial habits that a vice president might have had in 18 years of experience, that one I bring with me so that I can give you those experiences and train you to think like a vice president. So if you start thinking, then you will start resolving your problems, and more maturity will be there. Maturity is about say, I'll give you a scenario, Gaurav. Suppose a senior comes to you and he says something which makes you angry. So how do you react? You will also become angry, right, Gaurav? You will also become angry and reply to him in very angry words. You observe the vice president of that your company or somewhere else. He will not react that way. He will take time. He will understand what the other person is saying, and then he will bring that person to okay. If you if you will not react in a very angry manner, then that is very mature of you. That is what I mean. When you don't react but respond to a situation, you bring the other person to the table. In my previous company, what I used to do is, whenever I have a point of difference, I invite that person to a cup of tea together. We'll take a cup of tea together, sit down and discuss it out. What is the point of difference that is there with us, between us? What happens 90% of time, the other person will see what point I am making, and I will see what the other person is trying to see, right? So this way you, like say, preserve your friendship, the cordiality between you two, and then you also, hello Sujit. So, and also, when people see this kind of maturity, so when you are angry, people will advise you, senior people will advise you to grow up, right? So that is all that I mean by maturity. So try to understand what is there. So unless you surrender, no, to the process, surrendering to the process to learn more is another significant indicator of maturity. People will not just say, they will not outright reject the other person's opinion just because they know part of it or some form of it, right? They will listen, and if there is something extra, they will learn. That is maturity. If there is nothing to learn, also the other person's viewpoint is coming to them in another form, because no two persons are similar. Very yes, Anand, thank you. No two persons are very similar, right? You and me might be, suppose we both of us are vice presidents, but your childhood was different, your upbringing was different, your education was different, the people you got were different, the books you read were very different, right? It cannot match with what I have read and what people I have met, right? So that way, the way we think are very different. But it doesn't have to be contradictory. It doesn't have to be in friction with each other. This is a scenario where we learn from each other without living that person's life. This is what maturity is. And yes, hi Dipendra. So what I the first offer that I do is, once you once you go through all this, definitely your approach will change. And as soon as your approach is changed, it will become more inclusive, more decisive, and more productive. And that is what the senior management will look look for, and they will notice it for their advantage. Because here is a person, hi Yasu, here is a person who is growing up, who is becoming capable of handling more responsibility. Here is a person who is coming with a solution, lot of solutions. Here is a person who is capable of empowering so many other people, right? So they will be pleased. No senior management is displeased about your growing up, right? So make that maturity happen in your life also. In whatever situation you are, you will grow up by years. I'll say at least 10 years of your life will be saved if you go through this training. Pakke se, because I come with those kind of experiences, my failures, right? My frustrations, all. And what are the solution I had resorted to, with which then I achieved success. All those things I am going to give, right? So hopefully you will reach out to me for more discussion. Let us discuss it one to one over phone. Anybody, whoever wants to give me a call, I can share my phone number with them, whoever wants one to one, and we can discuss today, tomorrow, anytime it is free, right? Yes, Gaurav. What we'll do is, if you come one to one with me, right, then what we'll do is, I'll listen to you. I'll create a PPT in front of you, right? Whatever you will say, I'll write it down, right? And then I'll ask you few questions. You will answer, right? So whatever of that, whatever way you answer, we will discuss over that. Then you will take your tricks, right? The best diplomacy is honesty. If you are honest with what you are doing, with conviction, you don't need any other diplomacy. You don't have to be dirty minded to be diplomatic, right? The best diplomacy is honesty. I tell you, you have to know what is the right, correct decision, next right step, what it is. You always focus on the next right step according to your conviction. As a leader, if you need to communicate to others, you have to communicate. You cannot be one man show in the entire thing and will think that everything will work out, right? You don't have to be sugarcoating your words. No, you have to tell your thing honestly what you believe. That is the best thing. The other person is a human being too, right? And everybody in this world lies anything you tell with lot of honesty and conviction, and of course with some respect for the other person in mind, because we know the right thing, because we are convinced, because we have a superior idea. Maybe the other person has some idea which will work for us also, right? It doesn't mean that we will demean the other person. So there is no real requirement of diplomacy at all at workplace. But if you think that it is required, then I'll advise you to be very honest, very convinced about what your idea is, and tell with utmost respect for the person who is listening. That works like nothing else. Please try, experience it. And if still there is some doubt, then Gaurav will go one to one. You just book a call with me, or I'll give you my phone number so that you can call. We'll talk about that. Right? It is, I haven't seen the person you respect. You never respect a person who is very diplomatic, right? You respect a person who is honest, very genuine. So just put in front which kind of person actually you will go to respect. Yes. So become that person that you will respect. Become that person right now whom you will respect as a senior. See, you are fast tracking your growth, right? So become the person, the honest, simple, genuine person that you will respect. Any other question, Gaurav? Thank you for that question. Thank you for that question, Gaurav. Appreciate. Any other question? Any other question, Gaurav? Yeah. And there is another question I see, that there is politics at a higher level that you are saying. See, if you are very good at what you do, you know, no politics can stop you. But you have to be very good at what you do. How like say everybody wants to be benefited. Every company wants to be productive, right? So yes, yes. Every, like say, it starts with you, but what I'll try to say here is, see, if we people, लोग चिढ़ाने लगते हैं, right? लोग आपको चिढ़ाते हैं when you prove yourself to be very potential, you know. When you, I also have experienced, Gaurav. That is what I'm saying. I also have experienced politics बोलो, sidelining बोलो, promotion छीन लेना बोलो, what not. सब मैंने एक्सपीरियंस किया है. कुछ केक वाक नहीं था मेरे लिए. हाय अनिता. हाँ. So ये सारे थे, but still nobody could stop me. Stop तो किया, यहाँ किया तो फिर वहाँ मेरा growth हो गया. So why to be at one place where the work environment has become toxic? So if your mind is working for the good, is working out the solution, then if not here, somewhere else, you will be appreciated. Don't be very attached to the place where you are right now. Hi, Anita. Right? You don't have to be here. See, when you are meant to be a better place, at a better place, and still you are you have gone to a comfort level, and that is why you are here, stuck. Like say, tolerating all the toxic situation that is happening with you. Then the universe gives some problem to you so that you will be compelled to leave this place and go to somewhere you belong to. You are meant to belong, where you will be appreciated. Right? आप खुद से नहीं करोगे ना. There will be circumstances like that. It will compel you to do something, go somewhere. Wow, very good. I am from background having 5 promotion in 5 years. Yes, very good. हाँ, ठीक है. So So there is no politics, na? People are appreciating you already, right? Very good, very good. तो appreciation तो हुआ. So what is the problem? पॉलिटिक्स तो नहीं हुआ. पॉलिटिक्स होता तो आपका प्रमोशन बंद हो जाता, राइट? मैं भी लाइक से आई इवन डिस्पाइट ऑल दिस प्रॉब्लम्स, लाइक से मैं भी 3 साल में एज फ्रॉम असिस्टेंट मैनेजर टू सीनियर मैनेजर, राइट? यस. और 10,000 एम्प्लॉइज की कंपनी में चेयरमैन मुझे जानता था 1 to 1. व्हाट मोर डू यू वांट? जानता था नहीं, जानते हैं, अब तक जानते हैं. एंड ही कीप्स कम्युनिकेटिंग विथ यू कि कहीं पे भी जाती हो, wherever you are, you can find out your way of work. वो बोलते हैं he compliments me, so you can be the same, right? So why not do that? Why to be bothered about the problems that is happening in life? Solution focused हो जाइए. Focus on the solution. Solution 60-70% है आपके लाइफ में, जो 30% नहीं है ना. We people are accustomed to focus on that. और कौन सा बंदा इस दुनिया में है who is 100% पूरा सोने का बना हुआ? आप बता दो. Nobody is. बट हम सबको आदत है ना कि अपना वीकनेस पकड़ के उसी पे रहते हैं. और पीपल आल्सो लाइक कि ये बंदा अपनी वीकनेस को पकड़ के उलझा रहे तो बढ़िया. सो व्हाई टू प्ले ऑन टू देयर हैंड्स? ठीक है ना, राइट? गौरव, हाय अनिता. लैक ऑफ चॉइसेस एंड अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर desired position and places. You come to my coaching, I'll tell you how you will find out those opportunities. See, always don't go for published opportunities. I'll tell you how to go for unpublished opportunities as well, right? For me, वो ये आइडिया तो अभी नया है. For me, since the beginning of my career, I always did unpublished job only. कहीं पे चले गए and then I proved myself and got a position. So that is what, no, we will, I see, either we with our own mindset we will change the toxic environment which you perceive to be toxic might not be toxic, right? So what it is, we need to have a proper evaluation of the situation, what it is, right? That is what we will do. And the second thing is the opportunities, those you are not able to see, those opportunities we will try to see. Hi Anita, you said something. Actually I am not able to see in your chart. Workplace is a web of gap in or MIS communication. Aligning people to your thought process and getting best from all others is, I will suggest to that is, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो आप अपने पे फोकस करो यार. फोकस ऑन योरसेल्फ. हाय शंभुनाथ, हाय. पहले फोकस अपने आप पे करो कि आप कितने पानी में हो, राइट? फिर दूसरे के बारे में सोचना, ठीक है? फिर दूसरे के बारे में सोचना, वो दूसरा क्या करता है और उसका कितना गैप. आर यू गुड एट कम्युनिकेशन? आपको अगर मेरे साथ कम्युनिकेशन करना है, यू वुड सी टू इट दैट आई अंडरस्टैंड, राइट? उतना तक जाओ ना. वो सिर्फ आपका कॉलीग है बोल के व्हाई डू यू डू हाफ हार्टेड कम्युनिकेशन? आप शुरू करो कम्युनिकेशन. इफ यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड, आस्क हिम, अरे आपने ये बोल दिया, व्हाट इज दैट? आपने ये मीन किया क्या? यू कैन आस्क ऑलवेज. इस जमाने में भी अगर आप बोलेंगे कि कम्युनिकेशन बैड है, सी आई एग्री टू ऑल दैट. हम कहीं पे अगर कर सकते हैं ना, इम्प्रूव अगर कर सकते हैं, या सो यस, हियर तो वी कैन नॉट शेयर. गौरव, वी विल क्रिएट ए स्टोरी ऑफ योर्स. I will create a story after I speak to you, and then we can circulate that story here in my profile, so that no people also will learn from whatever we are learning from each other, right? We'll do that. तो हमेशा ही मैंने देखा है कि जब भी हम दूसरे को उंगली करते हैं ना, वो 4 उंगली हम पे आता है। 4 उंगली जो हम पे आता है ना, that is the problem lies there. वो दूसरा दूसरा दूसरा, the other person is not as responsible as we are to ourselves. हम ही अपने लिए responsible है ना सबसे ज्यादा. Who else is responsible यार? दूसरा कोई responsible नहीं होता. And 90% of our time goes कि उसने क्या नहीं अच्छा किया, उसने नहीं भला किया, उसने ऐसे नहीं बोला, उसने ऐसे नहीं बोला. आप अपने बारे में सोचो कि आपने तो कहीं नहीं गलती कर दी ना. Did that trigger come from you? कि इतना सारा झगड़ा जो हो गया, मिसकम्युनिकेशन जो हो गया, the other person doesn't feel like sharing with you, ये ट्रिगर आपसे तो नहीं आया, right? Think of that. ट्रिगर हमसे अगर आया होगा जाने अनजाने में, then the other person will not feel like sharing things with you. आप उसको कंफर्टेबल कीजिए. देन ऐसे जब वो शेयर नहीं किया या फिर कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया, देन यू पुट समथिंग बैड अबाउट दैट पर्सन, और वो बैड कभी गुड होता ही नहीं है. एक बार आपने इंप्रेशन बना लिया, दैट कंटिन्यूज फॉर एवर. थैंक यू गौरव, थैंक यू. सो होते रहता है, राइट? ये सब अगर होते रहेगा, then we cannot start the discussion, we cannot start the training, you know. If your mind is not about thinking, evaluating ourselves, you are not a teachable person. अगर आप सही स्टूडेंट नहीं हो, how can you learn यार? कभी भी कुछ भी आपको कोई नहीं सिखा सकता. So learn to be humble. सब कुछ इस दुनिया में हमको नहीं आता है यार, हमको सीखते रहना पड़ता है. इससे उससे हर किसी से. कहीं पे लिखा है ना, अगर छोटा बच्चा भी कुछ बोल दे, ठीक है, उससे भी हमको सीखना है, राइट? पता नहीं किसका कौन सा इंसाइट हमारे लिए गोल्डन नगेट बन जाए. We always need to be very open. और इसके लिए इंसान को रेस्पेक्ट करना बहुत जरूरी है. परसेप्शन मत बनाइए. Don't make perceptions, those are negative for you. हम जो ब्लॉकेज के बारे में आप लोग सुनते होंगे, those blockages are what? हम अपने लिए बना के रखे हैं ना. And those blockages are what? हम दूसरे के बारे में भी बना के रखे. जब अपने बारे में बना के रखे तो दूसरे के बारे में बनाना तो हमारे लिए आसान है ना, राइट? That is what we all do. एक बार ओपन माइंड होके come to the training. That is what I'll say. Please come to the training. Take my number. I'll put my number below this video and you can call. कब कॉल कर सकते हैं वो भी बता सकती हूँ मैं, से कैलेंडरली मैं दे देती हूँ. सो यू कैन बुक योर टाइम. कि मैं भी सीखती हूँ ना, मुझे भी बहुत सारे मेंटर्स हैं जो मुझे सिखाते हैं, उनको भी टाइम देना होता है ना. ये वही सेम टाइम होता है जिस टाइम मैं आपसे बात करती हूँ, उसी टाइम वो मुझे सिखाते रहते हैं. तो किसी दिन वो फ्री रहता है, तो प्लीज कंसिडर दैट. एंड ये नहीं है कि मैं थोड़ा डिस्टेंस क्रिएट करने के लिए आई एम गिविंग यू कैलेंडरली, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट ओनली. मैं अगर नहीं सीखूंगी तो देन आई विल बी स्टेल वाटर, स्टैंडिंग वाटर, राइट? स्टैंडिंग वाटर बिकम स्टेल, स्टिंकिंग. सो in order to keep flowing, I need to learn all the time. मैं भी इंसान हूँ, गलती करती हूँ. So somebody needs to correct me so that I can pass on correct knowledge to you also. Is that understood? Hope I gave some value. And please look for my posts, my stories on LinkedIn. And I have a YouTube channel also. You people go and सब्सक्राइब टू दैट ऑल्सो. उसमें क्या होता है कि रोज कुछ प्रॉब्लम मुझे मिलते हैं, उसका वीडियो बना के मैं उधर डालते रहती हूँ. सो देयर इज अ फ्री रिसोर्स, you can listen to my views also, right? Thank you so much.